Hello guys, today let's see a couple of geometry questions. These questions occur very often in the exams, be it the mocks or the actual CAT. So let's see the first question. All possible obtuse angle triangles with sides of integer length are constructed such that two of the sides have length 5 and 12. How many such triangles exist? Okay, so to do this question, I will use one obtuse angle triangle property, which is this: c square should be greater than a square plus b square. C is the length of the longest side. Okay, so this property holds for the obtuse angle triangle. For the right angle triangle, the property is c square is equal to a square plus b square, and for acute angle triangle, the property is c square should be less than a square plus b square, where c is the length of the longest side. Okay, so there will be two cases where the length of the sides are 5, 12, and the let's say the length of the third side be x. So first case will be where the x will be the longest side, which is c here, and the second case will be where 12 is the longest side. So let's see the first case. So if x is the longest side, then the according to the property, x square should be greater than 5 square plus 12 square. Then x square should be greater than 25 plus 144 should be greater than 169. Okay, so if x square should be greater than 169, so what all possible values x can take? And we also have to take in mind that the sum of two sides should be greater than the third side, as we all know that. Okay, so only possible values x can take will be, and it should be greater than 12 for the first case. So x can take 14, because 14 square is greater than 169. 15 square is greater than 169. 16 square is greater than 169. And we can't take 17 and thereafter, because the sum of two sides will not be the greater than the third side then if I take 17. Okay, so these are the possible values of x for the first case. If I talk about the second case, now 12 is the longest side, so 12 square should be greater than 5 square plus x square. So this will be 144 minus 25, that will be 119, should be greater than x square. Now again we have to do the same thing. X square should be greater than 119, and the sum of two sides should be greater than the third side. So the possible values of x would be, I can't take 7, because 7 plus 5 will be 12. Then I can take 8, I can take 9, I can take 10. I cannot take 11. Okay, so three possible values here. Okay, so the total x can take 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16. So there will be total 6 triangles. So answer to this question is 6. Okay, so let's see the next question. An ant wants to go from vertex A to vertex G of a cuboid along the walls. Find the shortest distance that the ant can travel. Okay. So what I have to do here is I want to make this wall fall on the floor. So AEHD is the leftmost facing wall, and what I will do is I will make it fall like this, parallel to the base. So the diagram will look like this. This is the base. EFGH is the base. This was the leftmost wall, which I make it fall like this. So this would be A. This is this would be D. Okay. So now the shortest distance would be this. So AE was the height initially, so it was given to be 10, and EF was 6, and FG was 8. So now AG would be is equal to root of 10 plus 6 is 16, 16 square plus 8 square is equal to root of 256 plus 64 is equal to 320. So root 320 would be my answer to this question. So there is one more thing which needs to be taken care of. The question says ant is traveling from A to G. The question mentions ant. So if it were housefly or something like this, so housefly can directly go from A to G with flying, with his flying skills. Okay, but ant can't fly. Ant has to walk along the walls. Okay, so if the question says the housefly wants to go from A to G, then housefly could go from directly from A to G. That is the body diagonal of this cuboid. For that, if that were the question, the answer would be root of L square plus B square plus H square, means the body diagonal. Because housefly can directly fly from A to G, ant can't directly fly, so ant has to travel along the walls. And then if ant was given in the question, then we have to do like this, like I have to fall the face along the ground. So that's the answer to this particular question. Let's see the next question. So the sides of the triangles are integers. Perimeter is given to be 18, and how many triangles are possible? Okay, so these type of questions also appear very frequently. So we will see this question by two methods. First by the conventional method, first by the logic, how we can develop the triangles, and second by the shortest way, and that is one direct formula. So there is one direct formula to count the number of triangles possible. So let's see the first method, which is by logic. So perimeter is given to be 18. Okay, so the first how I can begin this question, uh, one thing that we need to know is that the biggest side possible in a triangle, that is less than half of the perimeter. So the biggest side of the triangle is less than half of the perimeter. Okay, so if we realize this point, then I can know that the biggest side of the triangle can be 8, because 18 is the perimeter given, half of the perimeter is 9, and less than 9 is 8. And I have to look only for the integers. So 8 is the longest side possible. So if 8 is the longest side possible, then what could be the other sides? It could be 8, 8, 2, and the sum of the two sides will be greater than the third side. That we need to keep in mind always. Then other triangles can be 8, 7, 3. Then others can be 8, 6, 4, 8, 5, 5. So I'm just reducing the side by 1, 8, 7, 6, 5, and accordingly I can get the third side. Okay, so can I get 8, 4, 6? No, this triangle is already appeared, so I can't take this. So 4 triangles from here. So 4 triangles if the longest side is 8. Let's see if the longest side is 7, what could be the possibilities. So if 7, 7, 4, 7, 6, 5, 7, 5, 6. No, this will be again the same triangle, so I can't take this. So 2 triangles. 2 triangles from here. And one possibility could be 6, 6, 6. 6, 6, 6, where the longest side is 6 and each of the other two sides is also 6. So one triangle from here, 2 triangle from here, and 4 from here. So total would be 4 plus 2 plus 1 is equal to 7. So answer to this particular question is 7. So this is the longer way where we are counting all the triangles manually. Let's see the other shortest way where we have the direct formula for doing this question. So the formula is p square by 48, p square by 48 if perimeter, if p is even, p square by 48, p is the perimeter, and p plus 3 and p plus 3 square upon 48 if p is odd. So this is the direct formula. If P is even, like in this question 18, so we have to use this formula. If P is odd, we have to use this formula. And after calculating this, we have to take the nearest integer as our answer. So if we do this question with this formula, so perimeter was given to be 18. So I will apply this formula, 18 square upon 58. So 18 square, 18 is the perimeter given in the question, 18 square upon 48, sorry, 48, 18 square upon 48. This will be 324 upon 48. This will be, if I cut it by 12, this will be 27 by 4, which is coming out to be 6.75. So the nearest integer to 6.75 is 7. So the answer to this question would be 7. So I have to just look whether the perimeter given is even or odd. If it is even, I have to use this formula. If it is odd, I have to use this formula, and then I have to choose the answer which is nearest to the integer. Likewise, in this case, I got 6.75 and the nearest integer to 6.75 is 7. So answer to this particular question is 7. So let's see the next question. So the next question is, in right circular cone, AB is the diameter of base, V is the vertex, angle AVB is equal to 90. Okay, this AVB is equal to 90 is redundant because we already know basically in a right circular cone the vertex is at a right angle. Okay, so of all the right circular cylinder that can be inserted in cone, the one with greatest volume is inserted. If radius of this cylinder is 20 by 3, find the volume of the cone. Okay, so first let me draw the diagram. This is 90 degree. Let's say this is the height. Let's say this point is M. So since this is the right circular cone, we have height is equal to radius of the cone. Why? Because VMB will be the isosceles triangle. This angle would be 90, this would be 45, this would be 45. So VM is equal to MB. So height of the cone will be equal to the radius. So let the radius of the cone be capital R and height of the cone is H. So capital H is equal to capital R, where capital H is the height of the cone. Okay, so let me draw the cylinder that we are talking about, and this cylinder is given in question of the maximum volume. Okay, so we need to remember here one thing. When the greatest volume cylinder is inserted inside a cone, the radius of the cylinder is 2/3 of the radius of the cone, and the height of the cylinder is 1/3 of the height of the cone. So this is something we need to remember. Okay, when the greatest volume cylinder is inserted inside the cone, the radius, the relation between the radius and height goes like this. So we need to remember this. Okay, it means that R is given to be 20 by 3. So capital R would be 10, means from this I was given 20 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3 capital R. It means R is equal to 10 centimeter. R is equal to 10 centimeter. So, and if R is equal to 10 centimeter, height will also be 10 centimeter. Okay, so now I have to find the volume of the cone. Volume of the cone is 1/3 pi R square H. So R and H are equal. So 1/3 pi R cube. Since R and H are equal, so pi by 3 10 cube. 10 cube. That is equal to pi by 3 1000. So this will be my answer to this particular question. So I just discussed this question to realize this relation, that R is equal to 2/3 of R and height is equal to capital H by 3. Small r is the radius of the cylinder and capital and small h is the height of the cylinder, whereas capital R is the radius of the cone and capital H is the height of the cone. So at the end of the day we need to remember this formula. Let's see the next question. Okay, next question, we have an equilateral triangle of side A and three equal circles rather. Equal circles means all of them are of same radius and they are touching the sides of the equilateral triangle. Okay, so this is a very famous figure. You must have seen this figure in some questions here and there. So let's see how to work on this figure. So let the radius of each circle is r. So I have to find the relation between A and r. Okay. So this is the height of the equilateral triangle. So if I see this would be 90 degree because radius and tangent meet at 90 degree. So, and if I draw this line is from center to center. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. ABCD will be the rectangle, and this is, let's say, E, this is, let's say, F, and with from symmetry we will have FC is equal to DE. From symmetry we get to know this, from FC is equal to DE. Okay, so if this is R, this is R, AC is R, so this is 90 degree and this is R. Okay, this would be 30 degree, so this would be 30 degree. Okay, and this will be 60 degrees. Okay, so the side opposite to 30 degree is R, so the side opposite to 60 degree would be root 3 R. Okay, root 3 R. So the length of FC is root 3. Okay, so I just found it quickly from the 30 60 90 triangle relation. Okay, 30 60 90 triangle relation says the side opposite to the 30 degree angle, if it is 1, then the side opposite to the 60 degree angle would be root 3 and the side opposite to the 90 degree angle would be 2. So if we see here, 30 degree, the side opposite to 30 degree is R and the side opposite to 60 degree is FC, which will be root 3 times, so root 3 R. In the same way this will be again root 3 R. So root 3 R, root 3 R plus root 3 R, 2 root 3 R plus this will be 2 R. CD is same as AB, so this will plus 2 R, that will be equal to A, and if I take 2 R common, root 3 plus 1 is equal to A. So the relation between A and R is basically this, R is equal to A upon 2 root 3 plus 1. This is the relation that we derived over here. So why I discussed this question, because this figure is very familiar to us. We must have seen this figure in many questions. Likewise, this figure is also very famous. There is one bigger circle, there is one smaller circle over here. I have to find the relation between the radius of this bigger circle and radius of this bigger circle. In that question we have to just make a square like this and like this, and we can easily find out. So there are some figures which are very important to know how to derive the relation between the sides of the square, the side of the triangle, or the radius of the circle. So that's why I discussed this particular question. Okay, so the next question is, in a triangle PQR, R is equal to 12 and RP is equal to 15. Okay, so PQR, this is 12 this is 15 and this is 9. A perpendicular drops from Q meets the side RP at S. So this is the perpendicular and this is S. A circle of radius QS is drawn if the circle cuts PQ and QR at T and U respectively, then find PT is to RU. Okay, so there is a circle like this with radius QS, and here it cuts at T and it cuts the triangle at U. Okay, so I have to find the ratio of PT is to RU. So PT, this is this length, PT is to RU, this length. I have to find the ratio. Okay, so what I can see here is QS is the radius, which is equal to QU. QU will also be radius, and which is equal to QT. QT will also be radius. Okay, so if I am able to find the length of QS, then I am automatically can find the able length of QT and QU. So if I have the length of QT, sorry, then I can find the length of PT, because PQ is 9, then PQ minus TQ would be the length of PT, and QR minus QU would be the length for RU. So let's work on this. So QS would be, so how to find QS? There are 2-3 methods, but let me find out with the most easiest one. Let's say equate the area. So 1 by 2 into 9 into 12 is equal to 1 by 2 into QS into 15. So 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Then from here QS will come out to be 7.2. This is 7.2. Okay, if QS is coming out to be 7.2, then PT, what would be PT? This would be 1.8. So PT is 1.8 and RU will be 4.8. So if I take the ratio 18 by 48, that will be is equal to 3 by 8. So 3 by 8 will be answer to this particular question.